through you to the counselor, I think we better be careful about the contracted model, because the two former contractors we asked to help us to do some work for us, and they refused. So we only have one contractor that we could get, and he's only got one truck. So if we're looking ahead, we have to add that into the possibility too.
Okay, let me wrap my head around this one. Is the CBRM Director of Public Works, John Phelan, showing signs that he might be a bit salty with contractors who formerly performed our county garbage collection service? Listen, those contractors don't need to help. The contracts were no longer tendered, and the CBRM took it in-house, suggesting that they could not only perform it, but do so at a reduced cost, after showing some basic numbers that looked like the equivalent of some notes on a napkin. Then, it all came apart at the seams. But not before the contractor's own staff faced job cuts and their own businesses were impacted. To the CBRM counselors, take all this with a grain of salt. You're taking advice from the person who suggested the CBRM could replace the contractors in the first place. Make sure you keep that in perspective when you hear them doubling down. There is no predetermined notion of who will respond to a tender or not. Phelan isn't clairvoyant. If he was, he'd have known the first attempt at doing it themselves was destined for failure. So if you want to find out which contractors are interested in delivering garbage collection services and how much they will bid, then issue the god-darn tender and find out. That's how it works. Don't listen to the guy who is now taking the heat suggest that the contractors took their ball and went home, and that there's only one truck left out there. You've all been briefed on their history of interactions with the department. Make them issue the tender, and then you'll be able to find out what is the best scenario. A hybrid model could work, as I suggested before. In the short term, let the CBRM current new hires handle one or two of the three zones, and contract the remaining one or two zones to service providers. And if you don't like the results of their bids, then you'll have the option of doing the second wave of expanding CBRM staff.